Tyler's just using you, he always comes back to me. Emma sent that anonymous message to my girlfriend. Now everyone knows who she really is. I need some perspective here because I'm honestly not sure who was in the wrong and it's tearing me apart. For context, I'm Tyler, 24M, and I've been dating Sophia, 22F, for about 6 months now. We met in one of those random campus coffee encounters that actually worked out, and things have been pretty great between us. She's pre-med, brilliant, and honestly way out of my league, but somehow we clicked. The thing is, I hadn't really introduced her to my core friend group yet because, well, they can be a lot to handle. My best friend since high school is Emma, 23F, and she's always been protective of our friend circle. Maybe too protective, but I chalked it up to loyalty. When my roommate Jake decided to throw his birthday dinner last weekend, I figured it was finally time for Sophia to meet everyone properly. Big mistake. Sophia showed up looking incredible, which isn't unusual for her. Her family has money, her dad owns a few tech startups, and she dresses the part. Designer jeans, this gorgeous watch her parents got her for her birthday, the whole thing. I was proud to have her there, honestly. But I could see Emma's expression change the moment Sophia walked in. The evening started okay, just normal getting to know you conversation. But Emma kept making these little comments. Must be nice to never worry about student loans, when Sophia mentioned her research internship. I wish I could afford to eat out every night, when Sophia suggested a restaurant she liked. Each comment felt like a tiny needle, and I could see Sophia getting more uncomfortable. Then Emma went too far. She looked directly at Sophia and asked, "So what's your real job?" "I mean, besides the internship Daddy probably arranged for you." The entire table went quiet. I felt my stomach drop because I knew Sophia worked incredibly hard for that position at the medical research lab. But Sophia didn't flinch. She took a sip of her wine, smiled calmly, and said, "That's interesting, Emma. Tell me about your unpaid internship at the nonprofit. How are you managing financially?" "Oh wait, aren't your parents both partners at that law firm downtown? The one with their names on the building?" The silence was deafening. Emma's face went completely red because Sophia was right. Emma's parents are loaded, and they've been covering her expenses while she does her meaningful, unpaid work. But Emma had never advertised that fact the way she was attacking Sophia for her family's wealth. Sophia continued, still perfectly calm, "Maybe we should both examine our privilege before we start making assumptions about each other's work ethic. I'd be happy to discuss my research if you're genuinely interested, but I won't sit here and be insulted for something I can't control." Emma stood up, grabbed her purse, and said, "I don't have to listen to this," before storming out. Jake tried to lighten the mood, but the rest of dinner was awkward as hell. A couple of other friends made excuses and left early. On the drive home, Sophia was quiet. When I asked if she was okay, she just said, "Your friend really doesn't like me, does she?" I didn't know what to say because she was right, but Emma's been my best friend for years. Now Emma won't return my calls, and when she finally texted me back, she said I need to think about who really has my back, and that Sophia showed her true colors by attacking her publicly. She's telling our mutual friends that Sophia embarrassed her on purpose and that I'm being manipulated. But here's the thing, Emma started it, right? Sophia was defending herself. Still, I can't shake the feeling that maybe Sophia could have handled it differently, been the bigger person. Emma's never been great with confrontation, and she probably felt ganged up on. I'm caught between my girlfriend, who I'm falling hard for, and my best friend since we were 17. Emma's been there through everything: my parents' divorce, failed classes, breakups, all of it. But watching her attack Sophia felt wrong, and Sophia's response, while harsh, wasn't exactly unfair. My other friends are split. Jake thinks Emma was out of line, but Chris says Sophia was ice cold, and that Emma was probably just nervous about meeting her. I don't know who to believe anymore. So Reddit, AITA for not defending my best friend. Should I have stepped in before things escalated? Was Sophia wrong to call Emma out publicly like that? I love them both, but I'm starting to think I can't have both in my life. I just want to know if I'm missing something here, because this whole situation has me questioning everything I thought I knew about the people closest to me. Update 1: Holy shit, Reddit. I wasn't expecting this, but your comments made me start thinking about things differently, and what I discovered has me completely shaken. After reading through all your responses, especially the ones asking about Emma's behavior in my past relationships, I started connecting some dots I'd been blind to for years. You were right to ask, there's definitely a pattern here. I called my ex-girlfriend Maria yesterday. We dated for about 8 months during sophomore year, and it ended pretty badly. At the time, I thought we just grew apart, but Maria always insisted that Emma was trying to break us up. I dismissed it as jealousy between them, but now I'm not so sure. Maria told me things I'd completely forgotten or ignored. Emma used to accidentally schedule group activities on nights Maria and I had planned dates. She'd make comments about how Maria was changing me and that I seemed less happy when I was with her. The final straw came when Emma told Maria that I'd been complaining about our relationship to her, which was complete bullshit. But by then Maria was so frustrated with the drama that she ended things. "Tyler," Maria said on the phone, "Emma has been in love with you since high school. Everyone could see it except you. She's been systematically destroying your relationships because she's waiting for you to notice her." I hung up feeling sick, but I needed more information. So I confronted Jake when he got home from work. My roommate's usually pretty diplomatic, but when I pressed him about Emma's behavior, he finally cracked. "Dude, I've been waiting for you to figure this out," he said. "Emma's been talking shit about Sophia since you first mentioned her name. Before they even met, she was calling her a gold digger and saying she was probably just using you for your future engineering salary." That hit me like a truck. Emma had been poisoning the well for weeks before the dinner party. Jake told me Emma had specifically planned to test Sophia that night to see if she was worthy of our friend group. The comments about Daddy's money weren't spontaneous, they were calculated. But it gets worse. While I was having these conversations, Sophia was dealing with her own harassment. She'd been getting anonymous Instagram messages for the past 2 weeks calling her a spoiled brat and telling her she didn't deserve me. Messages like, "Tyler's too good for fake girls like you, and you'll never be part of his real friend group." The account was obviously fake, generic username, no profile picture, created just a few weeks ago. But the timing was too convenient, and some of the language sounded familiar. When Sophia showed me the messages, my stomach dropped because they sounded exactly like things Emma would say. I spent the next day going through my relationship history with this new perspective, and Jesus Christ, the signs were everywhere. My junior year girlfriend, Ashley, used to complain that Emma was territorial and made her feel unwelcome. Emma would show up unannounced when Ashley was over, suggest activities that excluded her, and constantly bring up inside jokes and memories that Ashley couldn't be part of. When I dated Rachel briefly last spring, Emma suddenly became very interested in spending one-on-one time with me. She'd text me constantly when she knew Rachel and I were together, always with some emergency that needed my immediate attention. Looking back, these emergencies were always bullshit. She was lonely, she needed help moving her couch, she wanted to talk about some family drama that could have waited. The worst part is realizing how Emma's been manipulating not just my relationships, but our entire friend group's perception of my girlfriends. She'd plant little seeds of doubt. "Tyler seems stressed lately, doesn't he?" Or, "I just want him to be happy, you know." She positioned herself as the concerned best friend who only wanted what was best for me. I feel like such an idiot. How did I not see this? Emma's been playing a long game, systematically eliminating any woman who might take her place in my life. And I let it happen because I trusted her completely. The anonymous messages to Sophia are still coming, by the way. Last night she got one that said, "He'll realize you're not worth it soon enough. His real friends know what's best for him." The possessive language is making my skin crawl. I haven't confronted Emma yet because I'm still processing all of this, but I know I have to. Sophia deserves better than this harassment, and I need to understand how deep Emma's deception goes. Part of me is hoping there's some explanation, that maybe I'm connecting dots that don't actually connect, but the evidence is pretty overwhelming. Jake thinks I should cut Emma off completely, but it's not that simple. We have the same friend group, the same social circles. Plus, she's been my best friend for 7 years. Even if she's been manipulating me, that's still 7 years of shared history. But I keep thinking about Sophia's face during that dinner party. She handled Emma's attack with more grace than I would have, and she's been dealing with anonymous harassment without even telling me about it until now. She didn't want to cause drama or make me choose between them, which makes Emma's behavior even more fucked up in comparison. I'm planning to talk to Emma tomorrow. I need to hear her side of this, even though I'm pretty sure I already know what she's going to say. She'll probably deny everything and try to turn it around on Sophia somehow. Reddit, how do you confront someone who's been manipulating you for years, especially when that person is supposed to be your best friend? And how do I make this right with Sophia without completely destroying my social circle in the process? Edit, some of you are asking why I didn't notice this pattern before. Honestly, I think it's because Emma was subtle about it, and I trusted her completely. When someone's been your best friend since you were 17, you don't question their motives. You assume they have your best interests at heart. Update 2, I can't believe I'm writing this, but Emma showed up at my apartment last night completely drunk and confessed everything. And I mean everything. The whole situation is so much worse than I thought. After my last update, I've been trying to reach Emma for days. She was dodging my calls and giving me one-word responses to texts, which honestly just confirmed my suspicions. I was planning to corner her this weekend, but she beat me to it by showing up at my door at 11 p.m., clearly wasted and crying. Jake was at his girlfriend's place, so it was just me and Emma in the living room. She could barely stand up straight, and she kept saying she needed to tell me something important before it was too late. I made her some coffee and tried to sober her up, but she just started rambling about how sorry she was and how she never meant for it to go this far. Then she dropped the bomb. Tyler, I've been in love with you since junior year of high school. I know you don't see me that way, but I had to try. I couldn't just watch you throw your life away on girls who don't really know you. I felt like the floor disappeared under me. 7 years. She's been carrying this torch for 7 fucking years and sabotaging my relationships because of it. Through her tears, she admitted to everything. The anonymous messages to Sophia, talking shit about her to our friends before they even met, planning the dinner party confrontation to make Sophia look bad. She said she thought if she could just show me how wrong Sophia was for me, I'd finally see that Emma was the one who really understood me. I know your favorite movies, your family drama, what makes you laugh, she sobbed. These other girls just see the surface. They don't know about your anxiety attacks or how you stayed up all night helping me through my parents' divorce. We have history, Tyler, real history. I was horrified. This wasn't love, this was obsession. I told her I'd never seen her as anything more than a friend, that what she'd done to Sophia and my other ex-girlfriends was completely unacceptable. That's when she got angry. Sophia doesn't love you, she screamed. She's using you. Rich girls like her don't end up with guys like us, she's just slumming it until someone better comes along. I'm trying to protect you. When I told her she was wrong and that I was serious about Sophia, Emma completely lost it. She started threatening to tell our entire friend group that Sophia was manipulative and had turned me against my real friends. She said she'd make sure everyone knew that Sophia was just a spoiled brat who couldn't handle being called out on her privilege. But here's where it gets really fucked up. Emma admitted this isn't the first time she's done this. She's been systematically sabotaging relationships throughout our friend group for years, not just mine. Remember Jake's ex-girlfriend, Melissa? They broke up last year after rumors started spreading that Melissa was cheating on him with guys from her sorority. Emma started those rumors. She admitted she made up the whole thing because she thought Melissa was fake and not good enough for our friend group. And Chris, one of our other friends, just started dating this girl Amy from his chemistry class. Emma's already been working on undermining that relationship too. She's been telling Chris that Amy seems clingy and that she's probably only interested in him because he's pre-law and will make good money someday. I'm protecting all of you, Emma kept saying. Someone has to make sure you don't get taken advantage of. I'm the only one who really cares about keeping our group together. The delusion was terrifying. Emma genuinely believes she's some kind of guardian angel for our friend group, weeding out unworthy girlfriends to preserve our real friendships. She's appointed herself as the gatekeeper of who deserves to be in our lives. When I told her she needed help and that what she was doing wasn't normal, she got vicious. She called Sophia every name in the book, said I was pussy whipped, and that I'd regret choosing some rich bitch over someone who actually loved me. She threatened to destroy my reputation with our friends and make sure everyone knew how Sophia had corrupted me. Then she tried to kiss me. I pushed her away, and she started crying again, begging me to just give her one chance to show me how good we could be together. She said she'd been waiting so long and that she deserved a shot after everything she'd done for me. I told her to leave. She kept pleading, saying she'd stop the anonymous messages and apologize to Sophia if I'd just consider dating her. When I said absolutely not, she got angry again and stormed out, but not before telling me I'd regret this decision, and that she'd make sure our friends knew who I really chose. I called Sophia immediately after Emma left. She came over and held me while I told her everything. She wasn't even angry, she was just sad for me, which somehow made it worse. She said she'd suspected Emma's feelings from the beginning but didn't want to cause drama by bringing it up. I could see it in the way she looked at you, Sophia said. But I thought if I just gave her time to get to know me, maybe we could work it out. I never imagined it was this deep. Now I'm terrified about what Emma's going to do next. She knows all our friends, has access to our group chats, and she's clearly not stable. I'm worried she's going to follow through on her threats and try to turn everyone against me and Sophia. Jake got home this morning and I told him everything. He was shocked but not entirely surprised. He said he'd always thought Emma was a little too invested in my love life, but never imagined it went this far. I need to tell Chris about what Emma's been doing to his relationship with Amy, and I think I need to warn our other friends about Emma's pattern of behavior. But I'm scared about how this is going to blow up our entire social circle. Reddit, how do you handle someone who's been manipulating your entire friend group for years? Emma's not just my problem anymore, she's been sabotaging other people's relationships too. Do I expose her to everyone or try to handle this quietly? And what do I do if she follows through on her threats? I love Sophia, and I'm not going to let Emma's obsession destroy what we have, but I'm worried about the collateral damage to our friends and social circle. Final update. This is probably going to be my last update because the situation has finally reached its conclusion, though not in the way I expected. Emma's mask has completely come off, and the fallout has been both better and worse than I anticipated. After my last post, I knew I had to tell our friends the truth about Emma's behavior. I couldn't let her keep manipulating and sabotaging relationships while pretending to be the concerned friend who just wanted what was best for everyone. I started with Chris, since Emma was actively working on destroying his relationship with Amy. When I told him about Emma's confession and her admission that she'd started the rumors about Jake's ex-girlfriend Melissa, Chris was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "That explains so fucking much." Turns out, Emma had been sending Chris long texts about Amy for weeks, pointing out red flags that were completely manufactured. Things like how Amy was probably just using him for his connections, or how she seemed fake because she was always cheerful around their friend group. Emma was planting seeds of doubt the same way she'd done with all my relationships. Chris was pissed. He'd been starting to question his relationship with Amy because of Emma's constant warnings, and now he realized he'd almost let her sabotage something good. He immediately called Amy to apologize and explain what had been happening. Next, I talked to Jake, who was already on my side. Together, we decided to approach our other close friends Marcus, David, and Sam and lay out Emma's pattern of behavior. I showed them screenshots of the anonymous messages to Sophia, told them about Emma's confession, and explained how she'd been systematically sabotaging relationships for years. The reactions were mixed but mostly supportive. Marcus admitted he'd always thought Emma was territorial, but never realized it went this deep. David was shocked because Emma had seemed so concerned about everyone's well-being. Sam was skeptical at first, but when Jake backed up my story about the Melissa situation, he started to believe it. We decided to have a group conversation with Emma to give her a chance to explain herself. Big mistake. Emma showed up thinking it was just a casual hangout and immediately sensed something was wrong. When Chris confronted her about the things she'd been saying about Amy, she tried to play innocent at first. "I was just looking out for you," she said. But when I brought up her confession about being in love with me and admitting to the anonymous messages, Emma realized she was cornered. That's when she completely lost it. She started screaming about how we were all ungrateful and that she'd been protecting us for years from girls who didn't really care about us. She said Sophia had poisoned me against her and turned our entire friend group against someone who'd always been loyal. "You're all going to regret this," she yelled. "These girls are going to break your hearts and move on, but I'll still be here. I'm the one who really cares about you." Then she stormed out, telling us we'd chosen wrong, and that she'd make sure everyone knew what kind of people we really were. That was 10 days ago, and Emma has been on a campaign to destroy my reputation ever since. She created a group chat with some of our mutual friends and told them that I'd become toxic and controlling since dating Sophia. She claimed that Sophia was manipulating me and isolating me from my real friends. She told people that the dinner party incident was actually Sophia attacking her unprovoked, and that I'd chosen a rich girl over my best friend who'd supported me through everything. She painted herself as the victim of a manipulative girlfriend. Some people believed her initially. Emma can be very convincing, and she framed the story in a way that made her look like the loyal friend being pushed out by a jealous girlfriend. A few mutual acquaintances started giving me cold shoulders, but then Emma made a crucial mistake. Last weekend, she got drunk at a party and started posting on social media about the situation. The posts were unhinged and made her obsession obvious to everyone. She wrote things like, "When you fought for years to protect someone from fake girls who don't deserve them, and some people don't appreciate real love when it's right in front of them." The worst one was, "I've been there through everything and I deserve a chance to show him what real love looks like." The posts made it clear that this wasn't about friendship, it was about romantic obsession. People who'd initially believed her version started to see the truth. Several mutual friends reached out to apologize for doubting me and to say they were cutting contact with Emma. The final nail in the coffin came when Emma tried to approach Sophia directly. She showed up at Sophia's apartment building last Tuesday and tried to convince her to break up with me for my own good. Sophia recorded the conversation, and Emma's words were damning. "Tyler doesn't know what's good for him," Emma said. "He's always needed someone to guide him, and that someone has always been me. You're just a distraction. He'll realize that eventually, and when he does, I'll be here waiting." When Sophia refused and told Emma to leave her alone, Emma got nasty. She called Sophia a spoiled bitch who was slumming it with a middle-class guy and said I'd get tired of being your charity case eventually. I forwarded the recording to our friend group, and that was the end of any remaining support for Emma. Even the friends who'd been neutral were disgusted by her behavior. The consensus was clear. Emma needed to be cut off completely. The social fallout has been significant. Emma has essentially been excommunicated from our entire friend group. She's blocked all of us on social media, and I heard she's planning to transfer schools next semester. Some mutual acquaintances have drifted away from the drama entirely. But here's the thing, I don't regret it. Losing Emma's friendship hurts because of our history, but I can't ignore what she became. Her love for me was really about control and possession, not genuine care for my happiness. Sophia and I have grown stronger through all of this. She handled Emma's harassment with incredible grace, never once asking me to choose between them or making me feel guilty about Emma's behavior. When I apologized for not seeing Emma's true nature sooner, Sophia said, "You trusted someone you cared about. That's not a character flaw." Our relationship has deepened because we've learned to communicate better and set clear boundaries about toxic behavior. Sophia's shown me what healthy love looks like: supportive without being controlling, protective without being possessive. The rest of our friend group has actually become closer too. Chris and Amy are doing great now that Emma's not whispering poison in his ear. We've all learned to recognize manipulation tactics and trust our own judgment about the people we care about. As for Emma, I genuinely hope she gets help. What she did was wrong and hurtful, but I think she's struggling with some deep-seated issues around attachment and control. Maybe transferring schools will give her the chance to work on herself. 6 months later, Sophia and I are still together and stronger than ever. I proposed to her last month at the same coffee shop where we first met, surrounded by friends who genuinely support our relationship. She said yes, and we're planning a small wedding next year. Looking back, I'm grateful that Emma's mask came off when it did. If she'd been more subtle, she might have succeeded in sabotaging my relationship with Sophia, and I would have lost the love of my life to someone else's obsession. Reddit, thanks for helping me see the patterns I'd been blind to for years. Your comments on my first post made me start asking the right questions. Sometimes it takes outside perspective to see what's right in front of you. To anyone dealing with a similar situation, trust your instincts, listen to your partner's concerns, and don't let history or guilt keep you tied to toxic people. Real friends want you to be happy, even if that happiness doesn't include them in the way they hoped.